Thank you for coming this evening to An Unlikely Story. We are very, very honored to have with us this evening Janet Tashjian and her son, Jake. Janet has been an author for a very, very long time, and in fact, my daughters, who are now 27, remember reading her many years ago, but she is a middle grade and young adult author who's been writing books for kids for over 15 years. Her first novel, True Confessions, was made into a critically acclaimed Disney TV movie starring Clara Brighton and Shia LaBeouf. The Gospel According to Larry, which I have to tell you is my daughter's favorite series. It is their favorite series. It is a cult favorite, and Fault Line is taught in many middle school and high schools. Her novels in the series that begins My Life As started with My Life as a book, My Life as a Stunt Boy, My Life as a Cartoonist, and these are the books she does with her son Jake. And this book, My Life as a Ninja, is the 9th in their series, and they're having a lot of fun traveling around. Yeah, I can tell you're a big fan of these books, right? Traveling around together with this book, and they are just a lot of fun to be around. So a couple of housekeeping items before we bring them out. If you can make sure your cell phones are off. And when we get up to do the signing line, we'll just go down the middle aisle. We'll start at the front rows, go down the middle aisle, and come around. And Jake and Janet will be signing over here. And right now, I would like to welcome Jake and Janet with a special song. So let's see.
I know, it's kind of a great song. Okay, wait, I have to take this off. It's just so, and I'm gonna have ninja hair. And so I know. So I'm Janet Tashjian, this is Jake Tashjian.
What's up, guys?
We have any excuse to be ridiculous. We kind of take it. And so our new book is My Life as a Ninja. I love that you're totally tied in. And I was here 6 months ago with my book, Sticker Girl, and I said I have to come back with Jake because he loves this store. He loves Jeff Kinney, obviously. Wimpy Kid has been a huge inspiration, and we love it for so many reasons. I'm still catching my breath. The books are awesome. They have coffee. They have food. They have an incredibly knowledgeable staff, and they have wine. So, you know, it's kind of an awesome bookstore. So, we are also an unlikely story. Our story is an unlikely story because when Jake was in elementary school, he's now 22, everyone always asks, but when he was in elementary school, we found out he had a reading disability. And because he was always a kid who drew, he kind of said, okay, reading's going to be difficult, so let me kind of use drawing as a way to be a better reader. So do you want to tell them a little bit about being a visual learner?
So you guys are, wait. Okay. So you guys are, oh wow. Nice mic. Anyway, so you guys are probably wondering how I'm a visual learner, right? Okay, so when I was a kid in elementary school, I had a hard time learning my vocabulary words. So in order to know them, here's what I did. I drew them on index cards. Now seriously, we have boxes and boxes and boxes of these guys all over the house.
And being like a thrifty, I'm from Rhode Island. We lived in Needham for a really long time, so this is our local turf. And so being like thrifty mom that I am, I'm like, if we're spending all this money on reading tutors and all these reading classes and we're learning all this stuff about reading disabilities, I'm going to write books about that and embed those techniques into the book to help other kids too. So we wrote My Life as a Book first, and then My Life as a Stunt Boy and Cartoonist and Joke
and Gamer and now Ninja.
And now My Life as a Ninja. So this is our, collaboration, how many?
You guys aren't going to believe this. This is our 9th collaboration.
So, and people always say, how is it working with your kid, or how is it working with your mom? And we really have fun. And no, I'm just kidding. No, we really do. We have, Jake has, we just were talking with Jeff, who was here on his way to the Celtics game. Hi, Jeff. And I'm waving to the camera.
Oh, yeah, what's up, Jeff?
So, we were talking about how Jake, when we first did the first book, would use Sharpies and draw on pieces of paper, and now he uses the Cintiq tablet and does all of his drawings on JPEG.
And the only problem is, back when I was drawing on paper with Sharpies, there was like no way for me to change anything.
Yeah, so it's old school. So now with Photoshop, you can make changes and things like that. So it's gotten much easier, and his drawings have really improved. So we do school visits all around the country. I've been doing school visits for almost 20 years. And we always talk about, there's so many things to talk about in the creative process. And now, with the internet, so many kids are doing their own blogs, fan fiction, publishing books on CreateSpace. Because of the internet, there's this huge amount. It's very, very democratic. It used to be if you wanted to sell a book, you'd get an agent, you'd send your book to New York, you'd wait, there's only a handful of publishers. Now, we go to schools, kids have written several books, and then sometimes they get picked up by publishers, kids are doing amazing fan fiction, all kinds of stuff. So, stories are so important, more important than ever. People say, oh, it's a visual culture. It's a visual culture, it's a story culture. All of the skills that you use as a writer are still the skills that you need to put on a good YouTube program or write a good blog or whatever. What happens next? That still is the basis of a story. So, and kids always also ask us, what things in the book are true? Okay, this kid's kind of a troublemaker. Yeah, the main character.
Yeah.
How many of the things are true? So I'm going to tell you some scenes from some of the books, and you can raise your hand and see if you think I made it up as the writer, or if you think I stole it from real life, which is something writers often do. So there's one scene where Derek and his friend have taken avocados, and they draw lines on them, and they, as hand grenades, and have a hand grenade fight in the driveway. Raise your hand if you think I stole that from real life. Raise your hand if you think I made that up. I made that up. Yes! Sometimes you can't tell. Jake would never do anything like that.
Well, yeah, well, there's like no way I would turn the driveway into a giant burrito.
Yes. So there's another scene where Derek and Matt are in a DVD store, and suddenly the store is closing and the door goes down, 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 and they wait till it's like, 6 inches from the ground, and they roll under it like James Bond. Raise your hand if you think I made that up. Raise your hand if you think I stole that from real life. I stole that from real life. That was you and Sam.
Yeah, it was me and Sam Washington did that in Rhode Island mall.
Yes, yeah, mall in Rhode Island, so I stole that. So there's one scene where Derek takes Sharpies and draws sideburns on his sleeping dad. Raise your hand if you think I made that up. Raise your hand if you think I stole that from real life. Jake would never do that. I made that up.
Come on, guys, I wouldn't do that.
Or yet, or would he? So there's another thing that I always love to talk about, because kids always ask me about research, and librarians always say, talk to kids about research, because this is the thing. I'm going to give you like the writer's like dirty little secret. We love doing research. Now, you may say to yourself, I hate doing research. Because you're doing it for an assignment, maybe on clipper ships or something else you don't care about. Am I dating myself with the clipper ships reference? So it could be that, but also the thing that no one tells you when you're your age is you have to find stuff that you think is cool. That's the thing that research is. When I do research, we have another series called Einstein the Class Hamster, and it's got lots of fun facts in it. And doing that research was a blast for me. And one of the things in my life as a ninja, I'm talking about a girl, 16-year-old girl from Connecticut named Sybil Luddington. Now, does anyone know who Sybil Luddington is? Do you? You kind of do? Tell me. I love that you kind of know. You don't?
I gotta be honest, guys, I don't know her either.
Yeah, he doesn't know either. Of course, he doesn't read my book. So, I'm kidding. So, Sybil Luddington was a girl, 16-year-old girl in Connecticut during the American Revolution. Is that what you're going to say? Who went to and did a ride that was 10 times longer than Paul Revere's ride. I think it was like 6 hours, 40 miles or whatever, warning people that, I was going to say the Russians are coming, but that's a Carl Reiner movie, that so that the British were coming. But the thing is, we don't hear about her, and I love knowing there's a 16-year-old girl in the middle of the night, kicking butt, riding across, getting everyone, rallying everyone for the resistance. So those are the kind of things when I find that, I'm like, okay, well, how can I put that into the book? Well, in my life as a ninja, they're putting a play on. Well, let's have the play be about the American Revolution. This is how I can do something that's also for me. See, this is another secret that writers do. We do things for our readers, of course, because we worship you, but we also do things to amuse ourselves. We put in things for our own amusement. So I'm going to read from a little bit of my life as a ninja, and Jake's going to do some drawings. But I also want to just save some time at the end for questions, because when I was your age and consuming Nancy Drew books, I did not have amazing bookstores in town where they had all these incredible curated books and teachers that really cared about stories and literature and all these. You guys are so lucky, but you know that because you hear it all the time. So I want to make sure that while I'm here, you can pick my brains, because you guys have a lot of writing ahead of you. You've got, middle school, elementary school, middle school, high school, college. So while we're here, whether it's a question about writing or illustrating or organizing work or anything like that, please pick our brains, because we do this for a living. All right, I'm going to get Ninja. Okay, this is where I have to run for 1 second and get my reading glasses, because I'm a horrible ninja. Ninja with glasses. Oh my God, it's locked. That's hilarious. Who wants to come and read my book? Oh, this is yours. I love that when we're all of a certain age, we all need the same thing. It's like,
I was just going to say
It's ridiculous.
Everyone has got backup.
It's backup because we all are old. Okay, so this, wait, you got your mark? You got your, as we said.
Oh yeah!
We live in LA now. We came here, the book just came out yesterday, and we came here because Macmillan, our publisher, said, we live in LA. They said, where do you want to go for the book? And I said, an unlikely story. I didn't think twice about it. So we're going to have Jake draw some pictures.
All right.
Okay, so in all of our books, there are if you haven't read our books before, there are drawings in the margin. And so Jake will draw some of them. Okay, because Matt, Umberto, Carly, and I are equally consumed with the world of ninjas, we check out martial arts classes to take together. Carly did the research, of course, looking for the closest school with the best program. Research. He's drawing the word research. There's one in Santa Monica with a famous sensei. She turns to me. Sensei means teacher. I know what sensei means. Just because I'm not a good reader doesn't mean I'm stupid. Carly rolls her eyes. I'm not saying you're stupid. I just didn't think you knew Japanese. Matt comes to my defense. Derek eats sushi, doesn't he? Of course he knows Japanese. The day hasn't even started, and already Carly's had it with Matt and me. Umberto pulls up in his wheelchair just in time to change the subject. Wait, can we see research?
Oh yes.
I want to see it.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Oh, is he watching ants?
Yep.
Okay. Did you hear Miss McConnell's looking for a volunteer to run the class play? Carly's ears perk up. If there's ever a chance to impress a teacher or get extra credit, Carly is first in line. She asks Umberto for details. All I know is this year the theme's the American Revolution and Miss McConnell's searching for a director. Umberto pops a wheelie in his chair. I wonder if colonists had wheelchairs back in the 1700s. We argue about that for several minutes. Carly and I say no, Matt says yes, until it's finally time for class. Sure enough, Miss McConnell brings up the play as soon as we take our seats. She talks about what a great school-wide event it will be, while I draw ninjas in the margins of my notebook. My favorite is a miniature ninja hiding behind a pair of salt and pepper shakers. Miss McConnell seems more relaxed than she was when Matt and I first had her in kindergarten. Now she's one of the most respected teachers in our school. I'm not looking for someone who's directed a play before, Miss McConnell continues, just someone passionate about history. In the time it takes for me to draw a mustache on my ninja, Carly's raised her hand. Miss McConnell is used to Carly signing up for everything, so she scans the room first to see if there's anyone else. But with Maria absent, Carly's the only one in class remotely interested in directing a history play, and she gets the job. Matt and I skateboard home after school and look up the martial arts school Carly found online. It seems too tame, Matt says.
Okay, here's the miniature.
Okay, we got the little miniature guy.
And you just said tame, I'm going to do that.
All right, we're on to tame. I was looking for something more ninja-y. I click on some other schools that have classes in the area. How about this one? Matt lets out a long whistle. The Way of the Thunder Shadow. Now that's what I'm talking about. When Dad gets home, I ask if he can take us to check out the martial arts class tomorrow. He marks it on his phone calendar and says, sure. My dad's been much happier since he started working again. After being laid off from his job as a storyboard artist for almost a year, he finally started doing artwork for guerrilla marketing country. Okay, tame, good.
And you just said gorilla.
Guerrilla marketing.
And by the way, guys, just want to know, it's not the monkey I'm going to
It's not the monkey. At first I thought it was guerrilla marketing, which would be awesome, especially if we could introduce our capuchin monkey Frank to a real gorilla. But it turns out my dad's company does groundbreaking advertising campaigns instead. Much less fun than hanging out with real gorillas. Matt and I searched for the video controllers, which we finally found wedged between the cushions of the couch. You know it's a matter of time before Carly ropes us into helping her with that play. Matt nods as he loads the latest version of Rayman. We'll be too busy spying on people and practicing martial arts to help, he answers. Real ninjas don't have time to paint scenery for a play. Or get reading glasses. He's right, but I also know Carly can be very persuasive. I hope this doesn't come down to choosing between two of my best friends. So let's see, we've got Gorilla with a water balloon. Excellent. And then let's see, we'll go through them again.
All right, so we got Gorilla right here.
We got Tame. And then, of course, there's a billion more in the book.
There's miniature.
Yeah. And research. When we did this, I get so carried away. People say, how do you choose the words to illustrate? And I go through the curriculum, age-appropriate curriculum, for words to pick appropriate vocabulary words. Because I'm a nerd. And then I put them in, I give them to Jake. He looks them up, he does the drawings. And then this one, I think it was this one or maybe Gamer. I'm like, usually Jake's done it a few months, you know, like 3 months or whatever, and it's like, he's still working on it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's taking so long. Now, usually there are like, I don't know, 230 or whatever books, illustrations in each book. And then I look when he's done it, it's this giant stack after we printed it out, and I highlighted like 360 words. I was like, oh, sorry. But,
and that was like really frustrating here, right?
It was. I know. I did feel bad. But and first of all, kids, I need you all here. Can we have a round of applause for parents, grandparents, friends, whoever who took you here today? Oh, come on!
Come on, think about that.
I mean, I gotta tell you, 6 o'clock, school week, dinner time, soccer games. Thank you for taking time for books and stories and cartoons and ninjas. I thank you.
You guys are just amazing.
Amazing. No, it's a giant thing, and you kids have to be totally good for the rest of, an hour, whatever. Who has a question about writing, illustrating, drawing, doing research? Anything? Yes. Have you come up with a plot for me to write? Should we tell the story what I just was telling Deb?
You know what? Well, you can tell a story, but I actually have something to say. I was actually thinking of doing a new My Life book. I actually didn't know the plot, what it should be.
What?
Yes, well, first of all, I already know the title what it's going to be. My Life as a Buddhist. What do you guys think?
That says big seller all over it. That's a big seller. Yes. And this I will say almost as good as my mother. God bless mothers, always trying to, and make things better. She's like, what about my life as a helper? I'm like, wow. I see kids are going to line up for that. Like, the next one is actually my life as a YouTuber. Very exciting. Very, very exciting for that. But then you have to help me on the one after that. Here, we're going to do a vote here. My life as a superhero or my life as a mad scientist. How many think my life is a superhero? My life is a mad scientist. Oh my God, it's like half and half.
Or, what are you guys' thoughts on
Buddhist?
Or
My life is a Buddhist. No, I do want to see this.
Or my life as an environmentalist.
Okay. It's good. No, I will. I just was telling a story where my editor said, does Jake have any ideas of what he wants to do next? And I said, Jake, he said, yes, I want to do a book about hillbilly aliens. I'm like, okay. So he draws all these characters, does this whole Hatfield and McCoy's thing with all of these warring aliens, whatever. I take it to our editor who says, love the illustrations, gotta tell you, alien books, not really doing that well right now. I tell Jake and he goes, how are hillbilly books doing? You might still be seeing that. But no, Jake, what Jake does, and that's a great question, is he will always bring me words, which are like little gifts. Like he'll say, have we ever done, like what's one you said the other day? Sultry.
You guys know what the word sultry means?
He's like, have we ever done sultry? I said, probably not a 4th grade word, 5th grade word, probably not.
Or if for like some people in the 4th grade, or how do you think it would be if we did the word simultaneous?
Simultaneous, yes. Come on.
No.
Simultaneous, yes. Okay. I'm at Starbucks today in Barrington, at Barrington Books, because we are huge independent bookstore supporters. And this kid's, I don't know, like junior high or whatever, says something, I'm waiting in line, and he's like something about blah, 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 surreptitiously. I'm like, dude, nice word. I said, when was the last time you said that? He said, last week. I'm like, okay, good. I don't know if Jake is going to want to draw surreptitiously or not.
But it was a surreptitious. Oh, what?
I know. Wait, what? But who else has any questions for stories or ideas or writing or? I like my life as a movie star. Although in my life as a stunt boy, he's a stunt boy in the movies, so that a lot of that takes place on a film set. But yes, I think that's hilarious too. Who else has questions? And yes.
What's your favorite book that you read?
Asking a writer what their favorite book is like asking a mother who their favorite kid is. Like, I only have one, so I can say Jake. But, I mean, My Life Has Books started out, I'm gonna get all verklempt now. It started out as a way for Jake to teach himself to be a better reader because he cared about books and he cared about stories and it was hard. So it has such meaning for me, that whole series, and now it's in like 24 different languages, and we get letters from kids from Finland and Argentina and Russia and all around whose drawings have made, Jake's drawings have made them better readers, so that makes me very happy. Einstein the Class Hamster that Jake drew all the characters in is very demented and funny, and I love that series too. So, and I love Sticker Girl. For those of you here that are girls, if you haven't seen Sticker Girl downstairs, I mean, it's not illustrated by Jake, it's illustrated by a woman named Inga from London, but it's very girly cool, and I like that one very much too. Who else has a question? You faking me out with the hand up over there? You faking me out? Yeah? Well, we are going to be here. You can, if you're shy to ask questions, which I get, you can ask us while we're here signing books. We're happy to do that too and to hang with you. And our books are here. We're happy to sign them, to inscribe them. But most of all, to just say to kids, people say to me all the time, and we just were talking about this downstairs, when Jake sits down to draw, sometimes he says, I just want to do it right.
But that doesn't happen all the time.
All you can do is start. You don't have to worry about being right. You don't have to worry about being perfect. Sometimes, I was just in Needham last year doing a writing workshop. They had just done the MCATs, 4th grade, and one of the questions was, what do you do when you get a babysitting job and you get there and it's a baby elephant? And the teachers freaked out because almost none of the kids, you had that one? Almost none of the kids answered the question because they didn't want to get it wrong. Now that's not a get it wrong question. That's an imagination question. It's a writing question. There's no wrong. There's no wrong. And I do school visits all the time, and if I could say, if you take one thing away, it would be that. Just try. Just start. Don't worry about it being perfect, because it's not going to be. As someone who takes 15 to 20 drafts to do one of these, I can tell you. So go forth and make many, many mistakes. Can you do that? Good. Does everyone here know how to make mistakes? Good. I'm glad.
How to fix them?
Yeah. And do you know how to fix them? It's actually a very important back end to that question. Yes. So thank you so much for coming. Give yourself a round of applause. So much fun. So we will be here. Do you want us here? Oh wait.
Yes, we're going to have you at the table.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to go get my glasses.
I know. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Now I have to get mine.
Do you No, I'm
No,
not.
no, no.
It's on the table there.
Okay, no, can I just tell you, it's to the point now, I can't do anything.
Right.
Well, oh my God, go from here to the kitchen without reading glasses. Suppose there's something along I need to see, you know. It's like, no, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Janet and Jake, thank you so
Oh my God, it's
much
always so
for
fun.
coming.
And so, can I also say, is this not your favorite bookstores ever on the planet? Yes, yes it is.
Thank
It
you.
is.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming. So Janet and Jake are going to be sitting at this table. If you guys want to line up down the aisle
We're gonna
and
make you,
around the
we're
corner.
gonna make you dress up as me.
They can,
How are you doing? Go back this way?
Yep, and then just go around.